Good evening. In compliance with Chapter 551 Open Meetings of the Texas Government Code, I call to order a regular voting meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Austin Independent School District for Thursday, December 14th, 2023 at 6:12 p.m. A quorum of the board is physically present at the AISD Central Office to conduct this meeting. This meeting is streaming live on AISD TV and Apple TV. It's also being broadcast on cable channel 22 through Spectrum, Astound Broadband, and on channel 99 through AT&T UVerse. Closed captioning in English is available on these platforms for individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing. Welcome and thank you for joining us. So as part of the agreed order with the Texas Education Agency, the agreement requires that the board shall, at the first board authorized public meeting every month, will report by reading into the record A, the percentage of time invested in student outcomes during the prior 3-month time period, and B, the total time spent in closed session during the prior month. Excuse me. So we started calculating minutes in October. We will not start the 3-month average, rolling average that TEA is requiring until January. But we have been sort of practicing leading up to that time. So for the month of November, we spent 450 minutes in open session and 118 minutes on student outcomes and special education monitoring for a percentage of 26%. The board spent 215 minutes in closed and executive session. So thank you. Our next item is committee reports, and we actually have posted the written committee reports as an attachment to this item on our board docs agenda. If you don't know where that is, you can just Google Austin ISD board docs and it will take you to the right place eventually. But this includes a committee report for the Board Policy Committee and the Austin Education Fund. Next up is the superintendent's report.
All right. Good evening, President Singh and members of the board. We are wrapping up the first semester of the 2023-2024 school year. And I don't know about you, but that went really, really fast. It feels like just yesterday we were getting on the bus and going around and visiting schools for the first day of class. I want to provide also a quick update on our budget reduction strategies. As part of our budget calendaring work, the district is taking part in budget discussions and is utilizing the District Advisory Committee to help support this work. Our CFO, Mr. Ed Ramos, has been meeting with our DAC and is scheduled to continue the conversation in January. The administration will provide an update to the board also in January. Next, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our dedicated staff, including custodians, food service employees, bus drivers, groundskeepers, plumbers, electricians, TAs, librarians, counselors, mental health professionals, LSSPs, diagnosticians, SLPs, teachers, campus support staff, administrators, and all the other staff who make Austin ISD great. I know I can't name every group, I often try, but with over 10,000 employees, it takes a lot of us to run this system. And we thank each of them for their support and their dedication. So thank you, thank you, thank you. There's been a tremendous amount of work done this semester, and it's only possible because of the hours upon hours of so many that have put into this time, put into the organization. And with that, I want to wish everyone a restful and joyful winter break. We'll see students back on January 9th. It's sure going to be a busy second semester, so rest up and come back strong. And that concludes my my superintendent update.
Thank you. So our next item is an update on our intruder detection audit. So Mr. Segura.
Thank you, President Singh. I'd like to invite Dr. Jacob Reach, Chief Officer of Governmental Relations and Board Services, to provide that update.
Thank you, President Singh, Board of Trustees, and Interim Superintendent Segura. In response to a June 2022 directive, Governor Greg Abbott, the Texas Education Agency, and the Texas School Safety Center has facilitated intruder detection audits at campuses in the state of Texas. With coordination through TEA and the Education Service Center, these inspections started in September of 2022 with a goal of inspecting 100% of all districts and 75% of all campuses across the state every year. There's 4 parts to an audit: an intruder detection audit, which is where they check outside doors to ensure they're all locked; an exterior door audit, which is doing the same but from the inside with an administrator to check every single door in the campus that leads you to an exterior portion; a classroom door audit if the district has a policy; and a review of weekly audit logs for on-campus walkthroughs. The classroom door audit, while we do have a policy of keeping classroom doors closed, that's no longer reported to TEA as part of the audit, but it is still checked as part of the walkthrough. So far this year, Austin ISD has had 47 completed door audits for a total of 42% of all of our campuses. Since we last met, we've had an additional 33 audits conducted at our campuses, and at least 7 of those have had at least one finding. And we work with our Safety and Security Committee and with our safety team and our operations team to quickly address any issues that we find in those 7 and report back to TEA what we've done to correct those findings. So that ends my report. If there are any additional questions, we can discuss any individual campus or any individual portion of the walkthroughs in executive session. Thank you.
All right, trustees, any questions? All right, thank you, Dr. Reach. So we now move to the public testimony for items on the consent agenda. Members of the public wishing to participate in the public testimony portion of our meeting called a dedicated AISD phone line in advance of the meeting to sign up to speak in person or to audio record their remarks. Tonight we have one person who left a recorded message, so we will now play it. Please listen carefully.
My name is Letitia Anderson. I'm calling about the goal progress measures / student outcomes. I continue to be disappointed that African American students in this district are not being made a priority. One of the district values is educational equity to ensure every child receives what it needs to develop to their full potential. How can African American students develop to their full potential if they're not being given the tools for success? Please realize it's really disappointing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So this concludes our public testimony. Trustees, are there any questions or clarifications? Nope. All right, then. We will move on. So as a reminder, oh, I'm sorry, Trustee Hunter, I didn't see you. Apologies. Please go ahead.
Not a question, but I'd like to thank the public for their continued support and their engagement with the district and their concern for all of our students and especially African American students. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hunter. All right, anyone else? Okay. I do want to mention that Trustee David Kaufman is via Zoom. Thank you, Dr. Kaufman. All right. So as a reminder, please feel free to share any general comments or questions on non-voting items with the board by email at trustees@austinisd.org. So, excuse me, we now will move to the consent agenda. Let's see here. Just a second, please. Okay. So first, I do want to mention, I would like to remove item 8.3, the adoption of the board member handbook, for a separate vote and receive legal counsel on this item in executive session prior to voting tonight. Trustees, are there any other items that we wish to pull? Okay, great, thank you. So I have pulled item 8.3. Secretary Boswell, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, I move to approve consent agenda items 6.1, 7.1, and 7.2, 8.1 and 8.2, 8.4 through 8.7, 9.1 and 9.2, 10.1 through 10.3, 11 through 11.3.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. All right. So, trustees, are there any discussions on any of these consent items? Okay, great. So having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Sabata to approve consent items 6.1, 7.1, and 7.2, 8.1 through and 8.2, and then 8.4 through 8.7, 9.1 and 9.2, and 10.1 through 10.3, and 11.1 through 11.3. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, the motion passes unanimously, I believe. Trustee Kaufman, are you voting? I know you're listening in. I just want to make sure.
He put a chat, said he.
Oh, he
yes
did?
to approve.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, okay, he votes yes, thank you. All right, so the motion passes unanimously. We will now, okay, so the two items, oh, yes, we also have abstention items for separate vote. So let's see, Secretary Boswell, do you have a motion to approve items 12.1 and 12.2?
Yes, I move that we approve items 12.1 and 12.2.
Okay.
Approval, 12.1, approval in the University of Texas at Austin and Austin ISD for Latino Education After School Public School Project, College Readiness Academic Enrichment and Support Program, and 12.2, approval of an interlocal cooperation contract with the University of Texas for rental of audiological booths at the UT Speech and Hearing Center.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. All right, trustees, is there any discussion on these items? All right, so having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Zapata to approve items 12.1 and 12.2, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Those opposed and abstaining. Okay.
He had a message that he abstained.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so the motion passes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in favor and 2 abstentions and no one opposing. Thank you. So before we move into consideration of item 8.3, adoption of the board member handbook, and item 13, naming of the lone finalist superintendent, the board will move into executive session to obtain legal consultation on the handbook and discuss potential naming of a finalist. The board will return to open discussion for comments and potential action on these items, which will remain live on AISD TV and other streaming platforms. I also wanted to mention that the board is going to have a special voting meeting next week. That's going to be on Wednesday at what time? At 3:30. It's going to be at the Performing Arts Center. It's not going to be here at HQ. And the reason we're doing that is because we wanted to make sure that we approved the underlying policies so that they align with the handbook that the board is going to be voting on later tonight. We like to have everything nice and clean and matching up. And so we are going to do that. That's going to be our last hurrah before we leave for break. So we will now recess the open meeting at 6:25 p.m. and move into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074. Thank you very much. Back. Thank you for your patience. We will now reconvene the open meeting at 9:49 p.m. So we'll move to items for separate vote. Secretary Boswell, do we have a motion to approve item 8.3, the adoption of the board member handbook?
Yes, I move we approve item 8.3, adoption of board member handbook, and that we are voting to approve the latest version in board docs.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Trustees, is there any discussion on this item? All right, all those in, having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Zapata to approve item 8.3, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, so Secretary Boswell, do we have a motion to approve item 13.1?
Yes, I move we name Matias Segura as lone finalist for the position of superintendent of Austin ISD.
Is there a second? Second. All right, trustees, is there any discussion on this item? Trustee Whitley-Chu?
You know, this board has been up here for a year, and in that time, we've talked to our community and who has told us they want someone who understands and appreciates and is committed to Austin ISD for the long term. And And Matthias is Austin ISD's first homegrown superintendent. He's a product of Austin ISD, the son of a beloved Austin ISD teacher, and the proud parent of 2 Austin ISD students. Matthias is a shining example that anything is possible for our Austin ISD students.
Thank you. Any other trustees? All right, Dr. Kaufman, anything? All right, well, thank you. All right, so having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Zapata to approve item 13.1 as Matias Segura as the lone finalist for the position of Superintendent of Austin ISD. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. The motion passes unanimously. Awesome. Let's Well, thank you so much. Matthias, your mom is probably very, very proud of you right now. We will now recess the open meeting at 9:52. Actually, I think we're just going to close out the meeting, so we can do that. Secretary Boswell, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion by Secretary Boswell and a second by Trustee Zapata to adjourn, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. The motion passes unanimously. The meeting is adjourned at 9:53 p.m. Thank you so much.